Hey guys, what's up? It's Samantha, and today I'm going to be memory keeping the week of January 2nd through the 8th for you guys, and I'm using the kit Fitness from ScribblePrintsCo, and I also ended up pulling in some silver foil with this. I did use the pink foil that I showed in my kit lineup with this kit, but I decided to do a mixed foil moment and pull in silver as well. So I used silver bougie boxes instead of the pink, and then pulled in like all silver scripts and like obviously my silver day of the week scripts. And I just really love the combination. I split the bottom washi up as well and did like silver bows and then like the pink twinkle confetti. So I'm just very happy with this combination. And I also realized this like particular pink foil, I think I only have about maybe one spread's worth of stickers left. I didn't realize how much I had used this. I pretty much always buy 3 of the like foil bundles whenever Andrea does a fun foil. And I apparently have used this one a lot. So I was kind of like bummed out about that. I always, whenever there's a fun foil that I end up really, really liking, I'm like, maybe I should have gotten more, but oh well. So I decided to do a fitness themed like kit this week, or I guess this is more like a health. There's, healthy food and stuff in this because I really want to focus on getting back into like good routines, good habits, good like healthy behaviors. I've mentioned this in my other videos, but the last like year and a half, but especially the last 6 months have been so chaotic and so just absolutely wild that all of my good habits have gone out the window. So I do almost all of the cooking in our household, and Joe's way of helping out if I have been like really crazy busy and like haven't had time to cook or grocery shop or whatever is he will like go get takeout or fast food or whatever. Like he'll go pick stuff up. And obviously like I don't feel the best if I'm eating takeout and fast food multiple nights a week. And if you go back, and if you've been with me for a long time, you know that I used to cook almost every single meal at home. And like the few plan with me's I've done over the last year and a half, there's definitely been way more fast food and takeout in the mix than is normal for me. So yeah, I did re-sign up for HelloFresh, which I mentioned in my last plan with me, and we got our box on Monday, and it was just perfect and wonderful, and it was a very smart decision on my part. It definitely feels like giving me training wheels to get back into the habit of cooking at home, and I don't have to think about it because right now I'm making so many decisions in terms of like buying furniture for the house and like picking out paint colors and like design choices that I definitely like. This is something I've noticed, especially as I get older. I get a lot of decision fatigue. And if there is an area of my life that I can eliminate decisions, such as like a meal kit service where they're like, here are the 25 options, like pick however many you want, and then like it limits what I can choose for dinner that night. It definitely has alleviated a lot of the stress for me that I was feeling with meal planning and trying to figure out like what's for dinner. I would always try to plan the whole week ahead of time, and I would just get so overwhelmed and easily burnt out. So I was very happy with how that turned out, and I loved all of the meals. Obviously, this isn't sponsored, and I've used HelloFresh before. We used to use them a lot when I was working full-time, just again, like to alleviate some of the decision fatigue and to remove like something from like a responsibility from my brain. But I'm very glad that we went back to doing it. I definitely think it was worth it. And I feel like especially with how expensive groceries have gotten, HelloFresh isn't that much more expensive. I feel like their prices haven't changed over the last couple of years. I could be wrong. There could be like some slight change in there, but groceries have just gotten so expensive that there like really isn't that much of a difference anymore comparatively. So I'm happy with it, and I ate a lot better this week, and it was a good time. I also spent a lot of time working on videos and planning and getting myself set up for success and editing and getting back into the groove with voiceovering. I feel like a tiny YouTube baby all over again. Every time I sit down to do a voiceover, I end up having to do it like 20 times. My voice keeps cracking and breaking. I forget what I'm supposed to say. I do a lot of tongue clicking and liking and umming, which were habits that I had kind of broken myself of for the most part when I was voiceovering at least one video every single week for a very long time. And now I'm just like, I have no idea what I'm doing, and I sound like someone who's never done a voiceover before. I definitely have started this voiceover multiple times, and I just am not quite there, but I'll get there. And I'm really having fun being, regular with videos and content and having a structured schedule to my week and knowing, planning out what I'm going to post on different days and having, multiple videos I'm working on at once. And it's been a good time. So getting into the day by day, on Monday, we got our HelloFresh delivery and I unpacked that and put everything away. I made myself coffee and I sat down and played balloons while I enjoyed my coffee. Joe was off on Monday because he had their observed New Year's holiday was on Monday since it was on Sunday. I called my mom and got caught up with her over all of the socializing and events and stuff she did with her birthday and New Year's Eve. Her birthday's the day before New Year's Eve. So obviously I talked to her for a few minutes on her birthday, but she was busy and everyone was calling her and stuff. So Joe and I went for a walk because it was 65 degrees or something, which is unheard of in January in Ohio. So that was really fun. And especially with all of the construction still going on in our neighborhood, we really like going for walks around the whole neighborhood and seeing, the progress on different houses. And then sometimes we didn't this time, but sometimes if there's houses that are framed, we'll walk through them to see what choices different people have made and stuff. So that's always fun. And then I did a bunch of filming on Monday afternoon into the evening. And then Joe and I watched A Charlie Brown Christmas. We had meant to watch it the week prior, but we never got around to it. And Joe really likes it. So we watched that. And then we played some balloons before we went to bed. And Joe's vacation was over and he had to go back to work, which, huge bummer for him. But it's kind of nice. Obviously, I like when Joe's home for vacation, but I also get excited when he goes back so I can go back to my normal routine of what I do during the day instead of having to tell him to be quiet when I'm doing a voiceover or, moving around his schedule. So Tuesday morning, I had some insomnia and ended up sleeping in because I was up for a couple hours in the middle of the night. And then I did a whole bunch of laundry and then I worked on thumbnails and was I still working on Instagram graphics? No, I think I was done with my Instagram stuff. So I was working on thumbnails and playing around with some new thumbnail designs and trying to figure out how I want different types of video thumbnails to look and being a little more intentional and cohesive and figuring out what I want to do there. And then I did some more filming, that sort of stuff. And then Joe and I took down the Christmas tree, and then I came back into my office and just planned and chilled, hung out. And then on Wednesday, Joe woke up sick, which was a huge bummer. Not a surprise though. He's gotten sick, I think, every year since he started residency. He's gotten sick either the last week of December or the first week of January, except for 1 year. So this is a thing that happens. And I've been hounding after him to wash his hands and you always get sick this week, please wash your hands. I don't know, but he was out and about doing a whole bunch of stuff during his vacation and he went and did a bunch of stuff on his own and I'm sure he picked up something when he was running around. So he stayed home and worked from home in the basement. He was able to move all of his patients to telepsych. Most of them were already telepsych. He usually just does telepsych from his office, at his job, and then sees a few patients in person. So he only had two patients that were in person that day. So he just moved them to telepsych. I Lysoled everything because I did not want to get what he got, and it's been over a week now, and knock on wood, I have not gotten sick, which is great. So I Lysoled the heck out of everything, And then I did like editing and voiceover work. And then I went to Target to pick up some like snacks for Joe. The basement is sort of his office man cave area, and he has a mini fridge and stuff down there. So it is nice, you know, he was sick and he was kind of able to like isolate in a different room. I have lupus and asthma, and every time I get an upper respiratory thing, it turns into like a whole thing. Like even if it's just a cold, I'm so miserable, and it always just drags on, and I get like secondary infections. So I get really neurotic about upper respiratory infections. Like other people are like, it's just a cold. And I'm like, please stay away from me. Like I cannot deal with colds, like GI stuff, stomach issues. Like I don't love it, but like it doesn't cause me like intense anxiety and like despair. I hate upper respiratory stuff. Just keep your germs away from me. So, like I said, I went to Target and I talked to my mom, and then I planned, and Joe and I played Bloons TD like virtually. I'm getting way ahead of myself on this video. But on Thursday, I made a point to hydrate. I have been really bad about drinking water since I stopped working, like drinking the volume of water I used to drink, because basically if I was bored at work, like if I was on desk during the morning and I worked in the teen department, basically nobody would come in. So I would drink a ton of water. That way I could get up and like walk to the bathroom every 45 minutes. And I have not been as good about staying hydrated since we moved. So I was intentionally trying to make myself drink the appropriate amount of water that day. And then I read all day. I did some cleaning. Joe and I played some Bloons stuff. And then I was like having some like more stomach intestinal issues, which I talked about in my last couple videos. Just, it happens every time I get stressed. So, you know, whatever. It's just a part of being me. So then on Friday, I woke up earlier than I wanted to, and Joe and I were sleeping in separate rooms. He was sleeping in the guest room, so I actually got some pretty solid sleep over the next like few days, where I slept like 7 hours straight, 7.5 hours straight, which hardly ever happens anymore. So it was nice to like sleep solidly because I was sleeping by myself. So I woke up, I listened to my audiobook in bed, and then I came into the office, like made some coffee, and then sat down and planned. I did some more cleaning, and then I did another Target pickup and a Walmart pickup. And then I came home and I folded, I think like 5 loads of laundry. I'm so bad about folding and putting away my laundry. I will like wash stuff as soon as I have even like a slightly full like basket or hamper. I don't let stuff pile up like dirty stuff, but once it's clean, I'm like, I don't want to fold it. I don't want to put it away, and I'll just let it sit and pile up. And I need to get better about that because it just gets overwhelming. It's so much easier when it's just one load I'm putting away versus like 5. It took me so long. And then my brother-in-law was also homesick on Friday. He lives in Chicago. So Joe, Jake, and I were all on Discord talking, and I was watching them play some game together. And then Joe and I played Bloons TD together, again, like the co-op, but from separate rooms. And then Saturday, I woke up and made my coffee and did the crossword puzzle. So another habit I'm trying to get back into is doing the New York Times crossword puzzle every single morning. It's something that I've done for the last few years. And then in the back half of 2022, I kind of just stopped doing it every single day. And I really love crossword puzzles. So I have been trying, that's like my goal, is to do every crossword puzzle for 2023. Just because it's something that I really like, and I'm trying to get back to doing all of the things I like and not just being a giant ball of stress doing things that are miserable to me all the time. So then I played a bunch of games on my iPad, and then I came up and was like planning in my personal planner, because that's another thing, again, another habit for 2023 is I want to make sure that I have my memory keeping planner and then my personal planner where I can write down some more like personal details and stuff that maybe like I don't want to share with the internet, and having both of those like the record for the year. And then I was on Discord with Joe and Jake again, and then I was feeling real emotional. I think I was just feeling sad and lonely because Joe was sick and like we weren't able to hang out. And then I played balloons with Joe again. And then Sunday was just a really lazy day. I chilled out in my pajamas all day long. I listened to my audiobook and like gamed. And then I ordered pizza for dinner. It was like the only night this week that I didn't cook. So like all of my lunches and dinners were all like made and eaten at home, except for Sunday, I got pizza. And then I, again, was just feeling like kind of blah in my feelings. And then I went to bed really early on Sunday because I was like, I'm exhausted and I just need this day to be over, like emotionally exhausted. I'm like, I just need to wake up and have it be tomorrow. So this is the finished spread and I am obsessed. I love the shine. I love the sparkle. I love the colors. I love everything about this. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and I'll talk to you in my next one. Bye guys.